Well, Alfie, old boy, looks like it's another day, another dollar.
New York Tribune, 5 cents. Good morning, Mr. Banks.
Good morning, Lyle. Aren't you cold standing out here in this weather?
A little, but I have to work. Otherwise, I'll be cold and hungry.
So, what's the news of the day?
I could tell you all of it, but then I wouldn't make any money, would I? If you want the news, buy yourself a paper. They're only a nickel.
You're a shrewd businessman, Lyle. Ever thought about going into real estate?
No, sir.
Have a good day, Lyle.
You too, Mr. Banks. Good morning.
Good morning. Have a good...
You...
Good morning, Banks.
Morning, Banks.
Horse feathers. Why is it so hot in here?
Morris apparently has a chill. He set the heating on as high as it goes this morning. Suggs and I had to prop the door open so we didn't sweat to death.
We must be raking in a fair amount this month if he can afford to do that.
I sure wish that kid outside would pipe down.
I know what you mean, Larry. He's giving me a headache.
Suggs.
Yeah, Banks?
How are you today, Suggs?
I can't really complain. Well, I mean, I could complain, but who would listen?
How are your sales going this week?
And not so great. I had a sweet old lady yesterday who was this close to buying an apartment for her cat.
I'm sure things will pick up.
And I'm sure you'd know, being Morris's right hand and all.
Now, Suggs, that's hardly fair. You know we're all equal in here.
You're right. Forget I said anything.
I'll just let you get back to it.
Thanks.
Got a minute, Murphy?
Sure, but I'm still on the clock.
Everything going all right with you, Murphy?
Yep, everything's copacetic.
Sales going okay for you?
Could be a lot worse. Could be a lot better, too. You ever going to share your good fortune with us, Banks?
What do you mean?
You always seem to manage to get the best leads. That's pretty lucky, don't you think?
I'm not sure I like what you're implying, Murphy.
Not implying, just observing. Anyway, let's drop it.
I'll let you get back to work.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, by the way, Banks, Morris wanted to see you. Said it was important.
Thanks for letting me know when I walked in, Suggs.
Hey, it's been a busy morning. It must have slipped my mind.
Good morning, Evan. Suggs said you wanted to see me?
Have a seat, Alfie.
This doesn't seem like a conversation that's going to be pleasant.
I'm afraid it isn't. You know I'm not the type to beat around the bush, so here's the long and the short of it. We're not doing well. Sales are minimal and the competition is popping up all over town like a bad rash. I hate to do it, but we're going to have to let someone go.
I see. Who did you have in mind?
That's mainly why I asked to see you, Alfie. You have more contact with Suggs and Murphy, so I think this decision should be yours.
Well, I'm kind of on the spot here, but... I think Suggs should be the one let go. His sales have been the lowest consistently for the past 3 months.
Very well, if that's what you think, then I trust your judgment. Thank you for your help, Alfie. It's always appreciated.
Anything else you need?
Not at the moment. Go ahead and check the assignment board in the break room for today's leads.
Will do.
He says it's because my sales were too low. How am I supposed to make sales if I don't get any decent leads?
I hear you. It hasn't been very easy for me either.
And just because Golden Boy gets all the good leads, it doesn't mean...
Shut your trap. Somebody's coming.
Gentlemen.
Hello, Banks. Your meeting with Morris go well?
I would say so, yes.
Great to hear. Well, Murphy and I better get back to work.
Suggs,
Yeah, Banks?
I'll just let you get back to it.
Thanks.
Time to make some magic. Operator, connect me to the Stamford residence in Bensonhurst, if you would, please. Hello, is this Ms. Irene Stamford? Yes, hello. This is Alfred Banks calling from Morrison Banks. I just wanted to follow up on the deposit you put down in the apartment in Flatbush. No, thank you very much, Mr. Contis. A pleasure doing business with you. 5 sales in 30 minutes. I think that might be a new record.
Alfie, can you come here a moment?
What is it, Evan?
I'm running late for the weekly shareholders meeting. Could you lock up my office for me?
Of course.
Here's the key. I'll be back shortly.
What on earth was that?
That sounds like Murphy took a spill in there.
Murphy, what's going on?
Just being a damn clumsy fool. Don't worry about me. I was trying to change the light bulb and I lost my balance.
Here, let me help you clean up.
Thanks for the help, Banks. Now, if you'll excuse me, I need to get back to work.
Hort! Suggs,
Yeah, Banks?
I'll just let you get back to it.
Thanks.
Got a minute, Murphy?
Sure, but I'm still on the clock.
I'll let you get back to work.
Mm-hmm.
I'm back, Alfie. Got my key?
Yes, Evan, here you are.
Alfie,
Yes?
where are tomorrow's leads?
I beg your pardon?
The leads for tomorrow? The ones that were on my desk? They're no longer on my desk. Where have they gone?
I have no idea. I haven't been in your office since this morning.
You know I trust you 100%, Alfie, but this is a very serious matter.
I'm aware of it. Look, I'll get Suggs and Murphy together and we'll look for them.
Or maybe we could just skip the drama if you look under Banks's hat, sir.
What?
We both saw you, Banks. There's no need to put on a charade.
Coming clean will save us all a lot of embarrassment.
Is what they're saying true, Alfie?
What? No, I have no idea what they're talking about.
Then you won't mind me looking under your hat? Just to be sure you understand.
See for yourself.
Alfie, really? You of all people?
Evan, please, you know me. Would I be capable of doing this?
I honestly don't know what to think, Alfie. You have to admit, this doesn't look good.
Well, there has to be a logical explanation, but I can tell you I didn't do this.
Alfie, look at it from my perspective. The leads were in my office when I left and gone when I came back. You were the only one with the key, and now they show up under your hat. What would you do in my shoes?
So does this mean I've been canned?
I hate to do this, Alfie. You know your father and I were great friends, and you've been an asset to this company. But for now, I think you should take an indefinite leave of absence.
Fine. I see how it is. I guess I'll see you fellas around.
Hey, no hard feelings, Banks. Here you go. See? They ain't even wooden.
Taking an early lunch, Mr. Banks?
No, Sure. Just taking an early lunch.
Well, if you need anything to read while you eat, I still got plenty of papers left. Good morning, Mr. Banks.
Good morning, Lyle. Don't suppose the news of the day can be any worse than the morning I've had. Let me have a paper, please.
That'll be a nickel.
Thanks, Lyle. Murder, extortion, robbery, par for the course in this city. What's this? Merrick making waves in Florida? Miami, eh? I've always heard that place was nothing more than glorified swampland. But I'll be damned if I'm just gonna roll over and freeze to death up here. When I'm finished down there, the name Banks will finally mean something again. So, Mr. Merrick, let's just see what you've got to offer. Hello, Miami. Alfie Banks. Huzzah! Oh, horse feathers. This humidity is something else. Right. I've got my luggage claim ticket. Now I just need to find this Hotel Belmont and...
Hey there! Hello!
Are you speaking to me, sir?
You see anybody else around, son? Come on over here and have a chat with old Doc Dammers, why don't you? I haven't got all day, Sonny. Come have a chat with old Doc and you can be on your way.
May I help you with something?
Pardon me for saying so, my boy, but I believe I'm the one who can offer you the help.
I'm really not interested in buying anything, sir.
Of course you aren't. Did you think I just fell off the turnip truck? I can tell a fellow salesman a mile away. You're here to get a piece of the action, aren't you?
Yes, I suppose I am.
Then consider this your own little welcoming committee. What did you say your name was?
I didn't. It's Banks. Alfred Banks.
Well then, welcome to Miami, Alfred Banks. By your complexion, I'm guessing you come from up north.
Yes, New York, actually.
Hell of a town, but you'll find we do things a bit differently down here. If you got any questions, feel free to ask.
What's the current market like down here? I've heard quite a few things back in New York.
People are buying left and right. It's a great time to be in real estate. Plenty of dough to be made. Every day, more and more locals and tourists come looking for their own spot of land, and we're here to sell. Mark my words, Banks, we're on the verge of something great.
How long have you been in this business?
Probably longer than you've been alive, son. Before this opportunity opened up, I was selling lots on Miami Beach for Carl Fisher himself. Surely you saw his billboard in Times Square.
You mean It's June in Miami? Of course, everyone saw that. It's partly what inspired me to come down here.
Glad to hear it. That's a perfect example of good marketing and knowing your audience. Why do you think I'm out here by the train station? New arrivals are the easiest to sell to. There's a free piece of advice for you, Banks.
I'm interested in this Coral Gables development I've heard about.
Oh, straight to the top, eh? They call it Miami's master suburb. It's been meticulously planned and is ready to start construction at any moment. Lots are going faster than a Tin Lizzie downhill. If you want to get involved there, you're going to need to talk to the man in charge, George Merrick.
Where can I find George Merrick?
He's got a sales office downtown, right on Flagler Street. Look for the building made of coral rock next to the Stocks and Bonds office. You can't miss it. Of course, George is incredibly busy these days and doesn't talk to just anyone.
Maybe not, but he'll talk to me.
I like your spirit, kid. You'll get places thinking like that.
I appreciate the information, Mr. Dammers, but I'm afraid I must be going.
Of course, eager to get started, I understand. And believe me, there'll be plenty to do very soon.
It was a pleasure to have met you. Maybe I'll see you around town.
I can more or less guarantee that, my boy.
Hello, sir. Let me know if I can be of assistance.
Excuse me.
What can I do for you?
Have you always lived in Miami?
Nah, I moved down here from Philly after the war. Nice place. Can't beat the climate, that's for sure.
What sort of records do you keep in this office?
All kinds. Marriage licenses, death certificates, property titles, you name it.
How far back do they go?
Not too far back. 30 years or so. The city wasn't officially incorporated until 1896, but I have some records going back to 1891. You let me know if there's anything you need to look up.
Could I look something up?
Of course. What do you need?
On second thought, nothing right now. Thank you for your help.
Anytime.
Hello, and welcome to the Hotel Belmont.
Excuse me.
How may I help you, sir?
I'd like to check in, please. My reservation was made under Banks, Alfred.
One moment, please. Yes, here you are. Your room will be the second door to your right when you get to the top of the stairs. Oh, someone was here earlier from the train station to deliver your luggage. It's been placed in your room. I'll just take that claim ticket off your hands for you.
Thank you very much.
Not a problem, sir. Please, let me know if I can assist you with anything else.
Is there anything you can tell an out-of-towner about this city?
Certainly. It's been growing at an alarming rate, especially in the past few years. There's no denying we're at the start of a land boom. I hear tell this new Coral Gables development is going to bring in thousands more people as well. At this pace, we could be the next Manhattan by 25.
Thank you for your assistance, my good man.
Happy to help.
Pardon me, miss.
I'm terribly sorry, sir, but I'm just too busy for you right now. Perhaps you could come back another time?
Another time? I've just come all the way from New York. Surely there's something a lovely young lady like you can do to help out a man in need?
Look, Buster, I've heard it all before. Like I said, I haven't got time for you at this moment.
What seems to be the trouble?
Well, not that you'd care, but I need to get these letters written. And seeing as the weekly shipment of supplies has been delayed, I'm forced to do them by hand.
You seem very dedicated to your job. I can appreciate that.
I am, yes. Mainly because I want to keep it. Now, unless you want to come back here and pick up a pen, I really need to get back to my work.
A tempting offer, but I'll have to decline. I'll be back later. Pardon me, miss. Would this typewriter ribbon be of any use to you?
It certainly would. Mine wore out yesterday, and I ordered a replacement, but it hasn't come in yet. Thank you, sir. I greatly appreciate it. This will cut my work time by half at least.
My pleasure. Happy to help. Pardon me, miss.
What may I do for you, sir?
I'd like to see Mr. George Merrick.
Take a number. Mr. Merrick is in very high demand. I'm afraid he's not currently seeing walk-ins.
Have you got any pertinent information on the Coral Gables development?
None I'm allowed to divulge, sir.
Would it be possible to make an appointment to see Mr. Merrick?
Certainly. Let me see. Our next available appointment is next December.
What? That's preposterous.
Mr. Merrick is a very busy man.
I think you've made that quite clear. Come now. I helped you out with your typewriter. Now you're just gonna hi-hat me? I don't know how things work down here, but where I'm from, one good turn usually deserves another.
Okay. Keep your shirt on. I'll level with you. I'm not going to be able to get you an appointment, but I can tell you that Mr. Merrick keeps an eye out for fresh talent. If you can manage to do something to impress him, he may see you without an appointment.
I see. What would you suggest?
Well, I'm not sure, but you might be able to get something done at today's land auction.
A land auction, you say? Where and when?
It's set to start this afternoon, around 2 o'clock. You'll find it at the corner of Granada Avenue and Coral Way.
Fantastic. I'll head over there right away.
Good luck.
I'll let you get back to your work.
Thank you, sir.
Any bids for 200? 200. Sold! You've made your husband a very happy man, miss. Come on, folks, it's a beautiful day to buy some land. Thanks. What brings you to my humble little land auction?
I'm trying to see Mr. Merrick, but it's proving a bit more difficult than I'd anticipated.
Don't say old Doc didn't warn you, son. Anyway, I'd love to chat, but I'm a bit tied up at the moment.
Is there anything I can do to help?
Actually, there is. See those two sets of stragglers over there, separate from the crowd? They're all about a hair's breadth away from buying, but I just can't get them to budge. Take your pick. If you can convince either set to buy some houses, I just might put in a good word for you back at the sales office. The fellow by himself there seems like he won't take too much effort to convince. If you want a real challenge, you might try the crowd of 5 there.
I'll see what I can do.
Attaboy. Oh, one more thing before you get started. I know you've got experience in this business, but I want to talk to you about seller intuition. From time to time, you might find yourself needing to persuade someone. You know as well as I do that that's all about finding a person's weakness and bending it to your whim. When you're talking to them, you can use seller intuition to your advantage. It'll give you a clearer read on people and let you figure out what you should play to in order to get them to see things your way. But enough yammering from me. Go and do what you have to do.
Pardon me, sir. I wonder if I could have a moment of your time.
What can I do for you, Mac?
The name's Alfred Banks, and I think I'm the one that can do something for you. I hear you're in the market to buy a lot.
It's true. I've heard plenty about this Coral Gables development, but I've got some reservations.
Let's have a chat then. I'm sure I can assuage all your concerns.
Okay. I have to admit, I'm not exactly the researching type. Fact is, I'm just going by what I've been told. I've noticed that they're not just selling houses, but also lots. What good is a patch of dirt to me anyway?
The advantage is, you can build whatever you like on the lot to suit your taste. You have complete freedom to build your dream home.
Yeah, but that means I'll have to spend extra money hiring workers, buying materials, pulling permits. I'm not dumb, you know. I just want the least amount of work necessary. And building a house is a heck of a lot of work. But aside from all that, people keep going on about Coral Gables. What's so great about this area?
From what I've seen, you'll have everything at your doorstep. You won't need to travel very far to get what you need.
Well now, that's definitely an advantage. If there's one thing I despised about my home up north, it was having to walk everywhere in the cold. One thing I don't understand though, why is the land being sold at an auction? It seems a bit shady, to be honest.
It's for the consideration of the buyer, to make things easier. We're trying to make these sales as stress-free and simple as possible.
And I certainly do appreciate that, don't get me wrong. Now be honest with me. All this seems a bit too good to be true. There has to be something that isn't right about all this.
Like any large undertaking, there's going to be growing pains. There's going to be construction, and not everything will be available right away, but you'll see. This place will be thriving in no time.
I appreciate your honesty. There ought to be more salesmen like you.
So what do you say? Do we have a deal?
We sure do. Where do I sign?
A pleasure doing business with you, sir. I hope you'll enjoy your new home.
Nice job over there, Banks. You got a real knack for this business. Now go get some rest, would you? You don't want to overwork yourself first day here, after all.
Mr. Dammers?
No time for beating gums now, Banks. I'm busy. You did a good job here today, son. Call it a day, and I'm sure good things will be coming your way soon. And sold! You've made a choice you won't regret, sir.
Excuse me.
What can I do?
Could I look?
Of course.
Thank you.
Anytime.
Mr. Banks, I have a message for you when you get a chance.
Excuse me.
How may I help you, sir?
You said you had a message for me.
Yes, sir. From George Merrick at the Coral Gables sales office. He's asked you to stop by at your earliest convenience.
Fantastic. Thank you. Pardon me, miss.
What may I do for you, sir?
I got a message from Mr. Merrick asking me to see him.
Ah, yes, he's expecting you, Mr. Banks. Go ahead and knock on his door there.
I'll let you get back to your work.
Thank you, sir.
Come in.
Good afternoon, Mr. Merrick. I'm Alfred Banks. You wanted to see me?
Ah, yes, of course, Mr. Banks. Please come in. Make yourself at home. Please, have a seat.
It really is a pleasure to finally meet you, Mr. Merrick. Like I said, my name is Alfred Banks, and...
I know who you are, Mr. Banks. I was well aware of your father's work up north. It seems apparent that you are eagerly following in his footsteps. You've gotten my attention. Now let's see how serious you really are. I see great potential in you, but a good sales agent needs more than just talent. He needs ability and know-how.
I've got those in spades.
You're certainly confident, I'll give you that. In any case, I have a few small setbacks which I need to deal with, and I think they would serve as an excellent proving ground for you.
Proving ground?
Think of it as an extended job interview.
I'm all ears. What do you need?
I can give you more details as you need them, but currently I'm faced with 3 concerns. The first is a man living on a prime piece of land who is refusing to sell. The second is my need for quality advertising, and the third is getting back some stolen design plans.
What about your need for publicity?
Any project, no matter how good it is doomed to fail if nobody knows about it. I've managed to secure some decent advertising, but I feel we need something more. The story of Coral Gables needs to make headlines. I'd like you to head over to the Miami Herald building and see if you can befriend a reporter or two. Having a journalist in our corner would do wonders for our advertising.
What's the story with the holdout?
There's a stretch of land which is of great interest to me in the area of Anastasia Avenue. Currently, the land is owned by an individual who has no interest in selling it. He's built himself a home there and understandably wants to keep it. Unfortunately, business is business, and I need that land to complete a very important project. I need you to convince the gentleman to sell.
What about your design plans?
I regret to say that a set of design plans was stolen from my office a few weeks ago by a man claiming to want a job interview. In reality, he was a spy, sent from my competitor Orrin Riley's real estate company. Riley still has my plans, but 2 can play his game. Since you're a fresh face in town, I need you to infiltrate his company and take back the plans. I'll have my secretary set up an interview for you later today. And here, take this set of dummy plans and leave it in place of the real ones so Riley doesn't get suspicious.
Infiltrate his company? What will that entail exactly?
My guess is that Riley will have the plans stored away in his office someplace. You may need to do a bit of searching. Are you comfortable with that? I know it's asking for quite a bit.
I think so, sir. I'll do as much as I can within legal means.
Of course. I'm not asking you to commit any crimes. After all, you're just taking back something that was already stolen. Think of it as a repossession.
I'll just get to it then.
I wish you the best of luck. Although, you seem the type who makes his own luck. I have a feeling I can expect great things from you.
Pardon me, miss.
What can I help you with, sir?
You seem very relaxed.
Do I? Well, I'll have you know I'm anything but. Why, just this afternoon I have an appointment with my pedicurist. Then first thing tomorrow morning it's off to the day spa. And then I have to go to the hair salon.
I get the point, miss. I really sympathize with your plight.
Oh, well, ain't you a sweetheart?
I have an interview scheduled with Mr. Riley today.
I see. And your name is?
Alfred Banks.
Just a minute.
Were you going to let him know I'm here?
Huh? Oh, right. Hey, Mr. Riley, you got someone here to see you.
I think I could have done that myself.
Go ahead and go through the door there.
Of course. Thank you. Pardon me, miss. I appreciate that.
What can I do for you, young man?
Hello, Mr. Riley. My name is Alfred Banks, and I'm here for a job interview.
Yes, of course. My secretary informed me you'd be coming in. I'm afraid I'm in a bit of a hurry today, however. I have a very important appointment I must depart for in about 15 minutes.
Then I suppose we should get this over with as soon as possible.
Yes, of course. Well, let's begin. Why don't we start off by you telling me a bit about yourself?
There isn't a whole lot to tell, really. I recently moved here from New York because I heard about the land boom. I'm no great salesman, but I'd love to give it my best try.
You don't say. What made you get into real estate?
I wanted to follow in the footsteps of my father.
Honoring the family business. I greatly respect that. In a way, I'm a bit envious. I don't have any sons, so my business will eventually go to someone else. But I still value family. It's really the most important part of my life. But listen to me babbling. Let's get back to the interview. Now, what do you think you can bring to this company?
I've got a great sales record. At my old job, I was pulling in an average of 27 sales a month.
Well, Banks, I must say, you seem to be a very promising candidate. I'll have my secretary contact you in a few days. Now, if you'll excuse me, I must run. I have to meet my daughter for dinner, and I don't want to be late. A word of advice, Banks. As great as this business will make you feel, you are nobody if you haven't got someone who loves you. My daughter, for instance, means the world to me. I always want her to be around, which is why I've got these paintings of her in my office. But I digress. Let me show you back out. Good day to you, Banks. Caroline, hold my calls.
Pardon me, miss.
What can I help you with, sir?
I'm afraid I need to get back into Mr. Riley's office.
Oh? Why is that?
I left something behind in there during my interview.
No, I see. Go ahead and get it. I never lock the door when Mr. Riley is out anyway.
Oh, well, thank you. I appreciate the help.
Mm-hmm.
Pardon me, miss.
What can I help you with, sir?
I appreciate the help.
Mm-hmm.
Quite an operation they've got going on in here.
Hello, sir. Let me know if I can help you with anything.
May I have a moment?
You may.
I'm Alfred Banks, and I believe you have the advantage.
Marjorie Stoneman Douglas.
Pleasure. What is it you do around here, Miss Douglas?
I write articles, conduct interviews, and investigate stories. I'm what's commonly referred to in this business as a reporter.
I suppose that was a bit of a silly question on my part.
Well, at least you can admit to it. That puts you ahead of most.
Anything you can tell me about Miami?
When I first got here, this was no more than a glorified railroad terminal. There were less than 5,000 people and the streets were made of white dust. Now we've got hundreds, if not thousands, of new faces showing up every day and are constantly expanding. I bet it won't be long before some other fool tries draining the Everglades to make more room.
Have you reported anything on George Merrick's Coral Gables project?
Don't know that I'd have to. He spent a small fortune on advertising. I doubt there's a single person in town who hasn't heard of it by now.
That may not exactly be the case. Mr. Merrick asked me to come here and inquire about possibly getting someone to do a bit of publicity for him.
Ah, suddenly it all becomes clear. Let's get something straight right now. I'm not some dumb Dora at anyone's beck and call. If Merrick wants a reporter in his pocket, it'll have to be someone else. I'm far too busy to find myself on the leash of some land developer and his cronies.
Now, let's not be so hasty. I'm sure Mr. Merrick isn't looking for a lapdog, just someone who can provide some help. Maybe we can reach some sort of agreement.
Now that you mention it, maybe we can. Okay, I'll help you out if you do me a favor first.
Name it.
There's a story I've been following, but I've hit a bit of a roadblock. Are you familiar with Jeremiah Miller?
Afraid not. Who is he?
He's a local politician, county commissioner, in fact, very outspoken on the subject of prohibition. I have reason to believe, however, that he's full of hot air. Unfortunately, I've never been able to get close enough to him to see if my hunch is right.
So, where do I come in?
Miller enjoys spending his time at the Miami Men's Club on Brickell Avenue. I figure if he's going to indulge in any illicit pastimes, that would be his ideal spot. As I am of the fairer sex and therefore not allowed inside, I need someone I can trust to get in there and see if I'm right.
And you trust me?
Not particularly, but you're my best hope, and you need my help. So I figured you've got the best chance of actually getting this done.
So, if I catch Miller in the act, what then?
Bring me some sort of proof of his hypocrisy, be it a photograph or a signed confession. I'm not fussy.
I'll see what I can do. Do you enjoy your work here?
I do, although to be completely frank, it's gotten a bit tedious. Granted, what I'm doing now is much better than what I did when I started, that being the society column. Back then, things were so slow I made up half my stories.
It certainly seems like there's a lot going on in town these days.
I won't argue with you on that point, but we'll see what the future brings. Maybe I'll take a crack at going out on my own. We've managed to get the vote. I see no reason why a woman can't make a name for herself as a freelance writer.
I'll see you around.
Count on it.
Begging your pardon, my good man.
Yes?
This seems a rather exclusive establishment.
Yes, sir, it is. Did you need something in particular, or did you prefer to stand around all day discussing the obvious?
Let's say, hypothetically speaking, that someone wanted to join your club. How would one go about doing so?
It's a rather simple three-step process. 1, you have to be a man. I believe you've already met that requirement. 2, you must prove your pedigree. We don't just allow anyone in off the street. Finally, you need to have a respected member of the community vouch for you. Once you've done that, it's a simple matter of waiting to be contacted for approval.
I didn't catch your name.
That's because I didn't pitch it. You can call me Morris if you need anything. Of course, how much I'll actually be able to serve you remains to be seen.
Morris? Any relation to Evan Morris from New York?
I don't think so, no.
Oh, well, I guess that helps my chances of getting into this club, at least. Are you familiar with a gentleman by the name of Jeremiah Miller?
I'm not at liberty to say.
Come on, I know for a fact that he's a member of this club.
Then why did you ask me?
Because I want to know what you know about him.
As I said, I'm not at liberty to discuss members of this club with non-members. I'm sure you understand.
I'm afraid I must be going.
Good day to you, sir. Yes? May I help you?
Good day to you, sir. My name is Alfred Banks, and...
Whatever it is you're selling, I'm not interested.
Ah, but I'm not here to sell you anything. In fact, quite the contrary.
Oh, I see. Merrick sent you, didn't he?
Well, yes, he did.
Look, you can go back and tell him exactly what I told all the others. Nothing doing. I bought this land before he got his little vision, and I intend to keep it. I tried appeasing him by building my house to match his Mediterranean style, but apparently even that wasn't good enough. I did everything by the book and filed all the proper paperwork. You tell Merrick he'll get me off this land when I'm no longer drawing breath. Good day to you, sir.
Sir, I really just want to have a chat.
I know your game. You vipers are just trying to trick me, and before I know it, you'll be flim-flamming me into signing some paper handing over my land. Well, you can just forget it. I've worked too hard on this house to just let it go. The paperwork alone was a nightmare and a half. Nothing you can say will convince me to sell my land. Nothing. Good day to you, sir. You again? What do you want?
Sir, I really just want to have a chat.
I know your game. You Viper, well, you can. I've worked too. The paperwork alone. Nothing you. Good day to you. You again.
Sir, I
know you Viper. Well, I've the good.
Excuse me.
What can I do?
Could I look some?
Of course. What do you...
There's a house at 1251 Anastasia Avenue that I need some information on.
Of course. Let me go have a look. Yes, here we are. Belongs to one Ernest Mathers. Built it himself 6 months ago.
Might I have a copy of the document?
What's your business with it?
I'm working with Mr. George Merrick of the Coral Gables project, and it's of utmost importance to his acquisition of the land.
All right, you can take this copy.
Thank you for your help.
Anytime.
Come in. Thanks. A pleasure to see you. Please, have a seat.
Here you are, Mr. Merrick. I got your design plans back from Riley.
Very impressive work, Banks. Did you get the job, too?
I'm not quite sure about that, sir.
Well, for the time being, let's hope you didn't. I don't want Riley stealing anything else from me.
I was wondering if I could ask a favor of you.
What might that be?
I'm trying to join the Miami Men's Club, and I need someone to vouch for me.
A society climber on your first day in town?
It's not quite like that.
I understand. Sometimes this business makes us do things we weren't expecting.
You're telling me.
Very well. Give me 1 moment and I'll have Miss Rogers type up a letter for you. She's typing it up for you right now.
Thank you, Mr. Merrick.
My pleasure.
I'll just get to it then.
I wish you the best of luck.
Here you are, Mr. Banks.
Thank you very much, Ms. Rogers. Begging your pardon, my good man.
Yes?
Let's say... How would...
It's a 1, 2, 5, once.
I'm afraid...
Good day.
Have a look at this. It's a letter from George Merrick sponsoring my entry into your club.
Merrick, eh? Well, he is a fairly prestigious member of the community. Very good. The club will take this into consideration when evaluating your membership application.
Begging your pardon, my good man.
Yes?
Let's say...
Finally, you need to have a respected... Once you've done that...
Let's say... How would one go about doing...
It's a 1, you have to be a man. 2, you must prove your pedigree. We don't... Finally, you need to have a respected member of the... Once you've done that, it's a simple...
I'm afraid I must...
Good day. You again?
Sir, I really...
You Viper... I've the... Good...
May I have a moment?
You may.
I'll see you around.
Count on it.
May I have a moment?
You may.
I'll see you around.
Count on it.
May I have a...
You may.
I'll see you around.
Count on it.
Excuse me.
How may I help you, sir?
Thank you for your assistance, my good man.
Happy to help.
Begging your pardon, my good man.
Yes.
I'm afraid...
Good day.
Take a look at this photo. Notice anything in particular?
It looks like you, with a mustache. If I may be frank, I'm glad you shaved it off. It doesn't really suit you.
That's my father, Hiram Banks. He was one of the top real estate moguls in the Northeast. Surely that demonstrates I have some sort of pedigree.
Ah, of course. While I have to admit I've never heard of the man, we have several members who surely have, being in that field. Very good. The club will take this into consideration when evaluating your membership application. Now it's just a matter of your evaluation.
How long will that take?
Oh, it all depends. Likely a week or two. We'll contact you when the decision has been made.
I'm not sure I can wait that long.
In that case, there may be ways of expediting the process.
Say, friend, you've really been a great help today. I'd like to give you a little something for your trouble.
Why, thank you, Mr. Banks. Ah, well, what do you know? It seems the results of your evaluation are in, and you've passed with flying colors. Welcome to the Miami Men's Club. Please feel free to use any of the club's amenities at your leisure. And of course, if there's anything I can do for you, please let me know. May I take your hat, sir?
Yes, of course. Much appreciated.
Well, look at this, boys. It seems we've got a new member. Come on in, my boy. There's no need to be shy. What's your name, and where are you coming from?
Alfred Banks from New York. Just relocated to Miami this morning.
I must say, you work fast, Banks. Just arrived and already a member of one of the best men's clubs in town. You must really be the cat's pajamas.
Well,
But where are my manners? I'm Jeremiah Miller, County Commissioner, District 2.
Pleasure.
I welcome you not only to the club, but to our fair city as well.
Thank you, sir.
Feel free to make yourself at home and get to know the others. If you have any questions about the city or anything else, I'll be happy to help.
Good book? Good book? Pardon me, sir, but... Mr. Miller?
What can I help you with, Banks?
Have you lived here long?
About 20 years, in fact. This city has grown considerably since then, and I'm proud to be involved in its government.
Know anything about the other club members? They seem a bit cold.
Nah, don't let them get to you. They're just a bit shy around new members. Soon enough, they'll warm up to you, and they'll be like your second family. In any case, the bookworm over there is Carlton Meeks. From what I understand, he's in the real estate game. The two gents over there are John Norris Sr. and Jr. Not a day goes by, they aren't in here having some sort of squabble. And finally, the esteemed gentleman leaning on the counter is Franklin Evans. Don't think I've seen his face in years. He tends to keep to himself, you see. They're not the liveliest bunch, but they'll grow on you.
Mr. Miller, this may be none of my business, but I was just trying to talk to the fellow over there by the counter, and, well, he's got a very strong scent of alcohol on him. I felt a bit woozy just standing next to him.
You don't say. I suppose that would explain quite a bit. This won't do. No, sir, not at all. Excuse me a moment, won't you, Banks? Evans, are you drunk? Evans, answer me. Good Lord, how much have you had? You're a hazard. What if I wanted to light a cigarette? You're a disgrace to the good name of this club.
Pardon me, sir, but... Good.
Your hat, sir.
Thank you. Begging your pardon, my good man.
Yes?
Are you familiar with a gentleman?
Yes, I am. He's a member of this club. In fact, he's in the lounge right now.
What can you tell me about him?
He runs in very elite political circles, but that's about as much as I know. On a personal level, well, I really shouldn't be saying this.
Nobody else will know. My lips are sealed.
From what I've gathered, he's not particularly well liked by other club members. It's on account of being such a blue nose, always harping about the sins of alcohol. Of course, he's not exactly on the level himself, but I've really said too much.
I think you've said just enough. My thanks. I'm afraid I must be going.
Good day to you, sir.
May I have a moment?
You may.
I'll see you around.
Count on it.
Have a look at this. It's Jeremiah Miller's engraved flask.
So my hunch was right after all. Nice work, Banks. It's a bit of a tenuous link, but it's probably the best we'll be able to do at this point. Well, a deal's a deal. You can go ahead and tell Merrick I'll write for him.
I appreciate your help, Miss Douglas.
You again? What do you want?
Mr. Mathers, I've just been to the Hall of Records downtown, and I pulled up a copy of your house record.
Yes? And?
It seems you had a property inspection done when you completed the house, but it was very basic. Furthermore, you didn't pull any construction permits.
I didn't need to. I haven't done any exterior work.
Nevertheless, I'm afraid I'll need to perform an inspection of your home just as a matter of record.
On what authority?
Look, you can either let me come in and do a brief home inspection, Or I can report you to the county, and you can deal with whatever fine or punishment they see fit to dispense.
Fine. Come in. I don't know what you expect to find, though.
What a mess! You clearly have a problem with a water leak.
And I've called the plumber, but he's yet to get back to me.
Quite a nasty buildup of mold you have here.
My wife told me she'd clean it up.
Your floor tiles are severely cracked here. Do you regularly have elephants as house guests?
No. I mean, my mother-in-law hasn't seen the new house yet. That was a joke.
I'm sure it was. Your fireplace seems to be letting go of some of its tiles.
Oh, yes. I've been meaning to fix those.
This wall shows clear signs of water damage. You probably have a cracked pipe somewhere back there.
Oh, I suppose that would explain it.
Nice gazebo. I hope you know you need to have a permit to have one of those.
It was a wedding gift from my sister. How was I meant to know?
Ignorance of rules is no excuse, Mr. Mathers. These baseboards look like they were installed during the Roosevelt administration.
No, they're supposed to look like that. It's the style, makes them seem classic.
Uneven rafters are quite the hazard. This whole roof could come tumbling down on you.
Haven't had any problems so far.
You seem to have several problems in this home. Are you sure you performed a thorough inspection?
Well, yes. Yeah, I'm sure I did.
I see. And who was it that performed this inspection exactly?
Why, it was a man. Yes, a man from the city.
And did you happen to get this man's name?
Well, no, I wasn't aware of...
You didn't really have an inspection performed, did you?
No. I paid someone to say they had done one on the public record. You won't tell anyone, will you?
You're in quite a state here, Mr. Mathers. Not only did you build this house without the proper permits, but you also put fraudulent information on your report. This doesn't look good any way you cut it.
Please, I have money. How much to get you to look the other way?
I'm afraid my silence can't be bought, Mr. Mathers. However, you might be able to get yourself out of this jam if you sell your house and land to Mr. Merrick.
So this is what it's come to. I see how it is. You come in here playing the white knight, but you're no better than any of the rest of them. I did what I had to do to keep my land, but I suppose that was all for naught. Fine. I'll call up Mr. Merrick and tell him he's won. I hope you can live with yourself, you snake.
I'm sure I'll manage. Have a nice afternoon, sir.
Come in.
Hello, Mr. Merrick.
Thanks. A pleasure to see you.
I believe that's everything taken care of, Mr. Merrick.
You know, when you first walked through that door, I had a feeling there was something special about you. I'm glad to see my assumptions were well placed. Welcome aboard the Golden Galleon, Banks. I think you're going to do wonders for us.
The Golden Galleon, sir?
Yes, it's our new slogan. Dammers came up with it. Follow the Golden Galleon to Coral Gables, where your castles in Spain are made real.
It certainly has a ring to it.
That it does. Now then, there's no time to waste. I've got some big plans for the next few years, and I'm going to need all the help I can get.
How are those sales going, Banks?
Not bad, Doc. Just made another 12 this hour.
I knew there was something special about you the minute you stepped off that train, kid.
Say, Doc, this new office is great and all, but aren't we a bit crowded in this room?
You'll get used to it, kiddo.
It's just that in New York, I wasn't...
Well, this isn't New York, as I'm sure you've noticed by now. Anyway, George wants to see you in his office ASAP.
I see. Thanks for letting me know.